Hello and welcome to the MSTAR training session on how to define leave deduction rules. Before you can start this activity, please make sure that the leave rules have been defined. In this screen, you will be able to define the priority of various leave types for deduction for employees in case of their late comings or early leavings. So let us see the steps how to define the leave deduction rules. Click on button MSTAR and select module HRMS. The name of the module appears on the main screen, which means that you are now working in the HRMS module. Click on the button Business Rules and select the screen Leave Deduction Rule. As the screen opens, select a staff type. As you know, there are two staff types, teaching and non-teaching. If teaching is selected, then the defined leave rules will be applicable to all the teaching staff, whereas if non-teaching is selected, then the rules that we will be making will be applicable to the non-teaching staff. In the next box, select the employment type. These are the employment types that are already existing in your school. Once you select an employment type, you will see that in the grid, the leave types gets populated. Here, the leave types will only show for those staff type and employment type for which leave rules have been created. So this means that for non-teaching staff type and employment type permanent, we have already created leave rules for earned or privileged leaves and casual leave. So the deduction rule can be created only for these two leave types. Similarly, if we click on teaching and select the applicable permanent employment type, then we will see that only casual leave is appearing, which means that the leave rules for teaching and permanent employment type, only casual leave have been defined. So let us define the leave deduction rules for non-teaching employees who are permanent. Now we have to define the priority of these leave rules for deduction in case the employee is late or leaves early. Setting the priority of these leave types is required so that automatic deduction of leaves for late comings and early leavings can be calculated by the application. If you are setting the priority for the first time, then a new number 1, 2 or 3 etc. will appear in the boxes below the column priority, and you can define the sequence of all these leave rules. Based on the sequence in which the leave types needs to be considered for deduction, the leave types should be clicked in the same sequence so that priority is sequential. As you can see, we have clicked on the earned leave first and priority as 1 is appearing. Whereas for casual leave, we have selected priority as 2, which means in case deduction happens for an employee, earned leave will be deducted first from his account, and after that the priority will be given to the casual leave if available in his account. In case you want to change the priority, further click on these and click on a leave type first to make it 1 and second to make it 2. Now click on the box below minimum number of leaves to be deducted and enter the number of leave for each leave type that can be deducted from an employee's leave account in case he comes late or leaves early, and enter for all the leave types. You can enter maximum up to 3 characters in this field, and maximum value up to 365 days can be entered. Only numbers can be entered in this field. If you have defined priority for any leave type, then the data in this field has to be entered. Whereas if priority of any leave type is not defined in the screen, then you need not enter the minimum number of leaves to be deducted for that leave type. So when we are entering 1 for each leave type, it means that in case an employee is late by specific number of minutes or hours and specific number of times as per the rule defined, 1 EL or minimum 1 PL will get deducted from his leave account. In the next field, max number of leaves to be deducted, enter the maximum number of leaves that can be deducted for a particular leave type in case an employee reports late or leaves early. So, if we are entering 3 for earned leave and 2 for casual leave, it means that maximum 3 leaves for earned leaves can be deducted from an employee's account for EL and Maximum 2 CLs can be deducted from his account in case he reports late or leaves early. You can enter maximum 3 characters in this field and only numbers can be entered. You can also enter only maximum value of 365 days. After entering these details, click on button Save and the data saving confirmation message is received. Click OK on the confirmation message. So, click on the Clear button to clear the screen and repeat these steps to define the leave deduction rules for other staff types and employment types. Now, let us try and update the leave deduction rule that we have just defined. To update the leave deduction rule, select the staff type for which you want to update the deduction rule and select the employment type for which the rule has been created. As you select these two values, the deduction rule appears in the screen. Click on the field and update as required. Click on the Save button and the data saving confirmation message is received. So, again select the staff type. To refresh the screen, select the employment type and you will see the changes that we just made are reflecting. Click on the Clear button to clear the screen and repeat these steps in case you want to update the leave deduction rule for other staff types and employment types. Now let us replicate leave deduction rules that we have defined for one staff type and employment type to other staff type and employment type. For this, select the staff type for which you have created the rules and select the employment type. The deduction rules appear on the screen. So, click on the Replicate button available at the bottom of the screen and a new window Replicate Deduction Rule appears. In this, select the staff type and the employment type for which you want to replicate the open leave deduction rules. You can also select all the values within these two sections by clicking on Select All and Select All, or you can deselect all in case you do not want to select all the fields. So let us click on Select All, and this would mean that the selected leave deduction rule will get copied into all the staff types and all the employment types. Click on the button OK and the data replication message appears, that is, the existing rules will override any other deduction rules if created for any other staff type or employment type as selected. If you want to continue, then click on button Yes, and it gives another message to us that if the leave rule for the selected staff type or employment type that we have selected by clicking on Select All is not available, then data for that staff type and employment type will not get copied. As we know that leave deduction rules can only be created for those staff types and employment types for which we have created the leave rules, so the message indicates the same. Click OK on the message and it gives us the confirmation that the data has been replicated. Click OK on the same and the data as replicated will appear in the respective screen. Thank you for watching this video.